of the talk show or whatever, and I'm actually gonna talk about like not about me anymore. I'm gonna talk about like Dota in general, like the pro scene and whatever. My own thoughts about it. So, and a lot of the things I might say will sound harsh. It will sound awful. It might even make you feel bad about the competitive scene. But I mean, whatever I'm saying, I think it's the truth, and it's what's going on right now. So first off, I'm gonna talk about money. You know, it's really important, honestly. Like I'm quitting like. If I do engineering, I'm pretty much guaranteed like 60, 70k, 80k a year, right? Like starting salary of 50k, 45k or whatever. But you know, I decided not to do that because it's fucking boring. But let's say you're playing Dota, right? And let's say how much money can you actually make playing Dota? If you're playing StarCraft 1, you could make like 500k a year, 1 million a year, or whatever, right? But let's say you play Dota 2, right? First off, your prize money is split between 5 players. So if you win one big tournament, it's pretty much equivalent of winning like 1/6 or 1/7 of a StarCraft tournament. Why do I say 1/6 and not 1/5? Because StarCraft tournaments pay a little bit more. So yeah, winning 6 DreamHacks is pretty much equivalent of winning like 1 DreamHack. Where the fuck's my notes? I actually wrote down how much money you can make. So, unless you win TI, so first place you got 200k, that's a fucking lot. But, let's say you completely take TI out of the equation, right? And let's say there's 1 DreamHack per month. Like one really big tournament called DreamHack per month. And you won 12 DreamHacks in a row. Somehow. I don't fucking know how you did that, but you somehow won 12 DreamHacks in a row. How much money will you actually make? So you make 15k, right? That's how much we got, 15k US at DreamHack. And you have to split this between 5 people. And you also have to split this between your sponsor. Because your sponsor might or they might not take money from you. It really depends on your sponsor. Some sponsors take a lot of money from you when you win a lot, and they take no money from you when you win nothing. And some sponsors take a lot of money from you when you win small, and they take nothing from you when you win a lot for some reason. But generally it's like 10%, 20%, maybe even more. So you're pretty much splitting it between like 6 people, or like 5.5 people, right? So I would make, I don't know, like 2k, 3k. It's like something like that at DreamHack. And let's say I don't lose any money to the sponsor. Let's say I just make 3k, and I win. Like some teams are like this, so I'm not saying anything about my own team. But let's say I make 3k at DreamHack, and I win 12 DreamHacks in a row. That would be the equivalent of making 36k, which is fucking nothing. 36k a year. I mean, sure, it's okay, but it's not anything too amazing, right? Like, winning 12 DreamHacks in a row is like pretty much saying you're the best, and you make 36k. So let's and DreamHacks is a lot of money. Let's say you win Star Ladder. That's 2.4k one person. Let's say you win. Let's look at a year, like realistically. There's 3 Star Ladders a year, right? Or 4? I don't know. 3. Let's just say 3. And you win all 3 of them in a row. 7.2k right there. There's 2 DreamHacks in a year. You win both DreamHacks. That's 6k. You win defense. You win 2 defense in 1 year. I think there's 2 defense in 1 year, maybe even 3. But each defense is like 1.5k. I think right now it's 3k. But this was before the defense got more money. So I don't know. I could make this 4.5k, but whatever. Let's just say 3k. Let's say you win all 3 TPLs in a row. 3 TPL is like 5k, I think. I think it's even less right now. I think right now it's like 3k, 2k, 1k. So it's even less than this. But before it was 5k. So that's 1k, right? Because you split between 5 people. And you win all these tournaments. Every single fucking one. All these big tournaments. You would make 18.8k a year. That's how much you would make. By winning every single tournament outside of Asia. You can't play both Asia and Europe, right? You can only play one side because of sleep schedules. I don't really know much about Asia, so I just did Europe or NA. So you'll make like 18.8k a year by winning everything. If you get second place in everything, which is fucking amazing, like getting second place in every tournament is fucking amazing, you would make 9.4k a year. These are like the known tournaments, right? If you include the tournaments people don't know much about, let's say 4, that happens once a year. I don't know. PD2, Raycall, ESWC. You add all these tournaments together, that's 8.2k. So you win every tournament in the entire year. That's 19k plus 8.2k. No, it's 8.2 plus 18.8. That's 27k, right? That's decent. That's winning every fucking tournament. So basically it's very, very little. Okay. And that's assuming you don't give any money to your sponsor. Like, I'm not sure if... Well, Alex Mike never told me not to tell anybody, but Alex Mike, during Complexity, and Complexity dominated for a long, long, long time. I'm not talking, like... No, I'm not saying any of this is really, really important to me. I'm just talking about... Like, I'm just talking about the pro scene. Like, what's actually happening. Right? Oh, no, I will go into everything. So let's... Okay. So if you win every tournament, that's like 27k or something a year. Every single tournament. Excluding TI. And then let's talk about streaming. So... Alright, I forgot to mention Alex Mike. So he... Over the entire Complexity era, where at one point they had like a 95% win rate and they were just owning everybody. And they won the defense, which is a big deal, I think. And they won a lot of other tournaments as well. I think in total he made 4.5k. Including streaming, including everything. For the entire year, 4.5k. So that's fucking nothing. And Complexity is like considered one of the best teams. So, let's say you stream. So in one day you have to practice a lot. If you're Chinese or whatever. Like if you want to practice a lot, then you would spend 8 hours, maybe even more. Right? You have to look at replays, you have to watch pro games, you have to practice, you have to look for scrims. Looking for scrims takes a lot longer than you actually think. And let's say you get 2k viewers static, which is insanely good. The maximum I've ever had for any particular day is like 1.2k static. Not static, but like on average. Let's say you get 2k. And this is the current contract that most Twitch people have. You get $3.5 per 1,000 viewers. You assume 68% ad blocker use. That's basically it. That's what I calculated from Alex Mike's stream. That around 68% of the people have ad block on. And let's assume you have 5 commercials per hour. So you have... Let's say you play one game every, like, I don't know, like 50 minutes or something. Then, yeah, you play 5 commercials an hour. Then you would make around 13,200 a year. Which is nothing. And you also have to, you might or you might not give some money to your sponsor. Some sponsors care, and they take some of your money, some sponsors don't. I don't know. Add it together, I think you make, let's say, 13,200. Which is, I mean, this is pretty good, right? 2k static. I think Merlini gets like 2k static. Or like 2.5k static. So this is pretty legit. And you make like 13,200. This is Twitch TV, not Own TV as well. Yeah, first place every tournament, 27k. Add it together, not very good. You also get some money from your sponsor, like they give you salary. I don't know, like some players get a lot, maybe over 1k, maybe 1.5k. If you're like Navi, you get like, I don't know, 1.5k. Let's say you're, I don't know, MTW, you get like 300. I don't know, you get very little. Most sponsors don't give you anything. Like Roots wouldn't give you anything. Fnatic NA probably wouldn't give you anything. Fnatic EU, I think they get some. I think they get something. I don't really know. I don't think most sports got much. I think they got 200, 300. I don't know how much they get. And some players get more than others. Like Loda gets a lot more than me. Yeah, I think. Basically, if you're really, really, really popular, you get like 1k a year. 1k a month, sorry. Or like 1.5k if you're Navi. So it's pretty good if you get that much, like 1k. But most players get like 200 or 300, 400. So it really isn't that much. Like if you add all this together, it's really difficult to make enough for it to be worth it. Like I don't know, for most people. Like for me, I personally don't care too much about money in comparison to other people I know, but I mean, this is truly how much you can make from playing Dota. Obviously, it's gonna get better. You know, the prize money is getting better. When this is still beta, so when beta's over, maybe you'll get more viewers, you'll get more money in the tournaments. But yeah, right now, this is what's happening. Basically, the only tournament that actually matters is TI. I'm sure a lot of teams have talked about this. Like, it's basically TI or nothing. You win TI, or you're fucked. And that's it. I am not gonna play after us. We'll link this. Okay. The point of a sponsor, I mean, most teams don't win tournaments. Like, EG is a really fucking good team, right? EG is pretty fucking good, to be honest. And like, Dota2 is pretty fucking good. And they got sent to DreamHack and they didn't get anything. Empire is pretty fucking good. They got sent to DreamHack too. They barely got anything. And let's say they never had a sponsor and they had to pay for their own flight tickets. If you get like 3rd place, it's not worth it anymore. Even if you get 2nd place, I'm not sure if it's worth it. So, maybe 2nd place might be worth it. I don't know. It really depends where you live, which I also want to talk about. I want to talk about North America Dota and European Dota and Chinese Dota. So, let's say you live in NA, right? And let's say you're Root Gaming. This actually happened, right? Roots could only send 2 or 3 players. I forgot how many. 2 or 3 of their players to 4. And 2 or 3 of the players they had to get from Sweden, right? They couldn't even afford to send their entire team to 4. They could only send a couple, right? You know why? This is because they live in NA, and it costs too much money to send teams from NA to Europe. EG couldn't even attend Star Ladder. I think the first Star Ladder after TI, because it costs too much money to bring 4 players from NA to Europe. And Melk, I think he lives in Europe, so it's 4 players. This is a pretty big problem. Like, if you're a team from NA, I mean, I think Complexity never went to any LAN tournaments either, right? Because they were too poor to send their players to DreamHack. So Complexity's first LAN tournament was actually TI, which is not very good for them because they don't have LAN experience, which might or might not be that important. So yeah, being NA generally pretty shitty for a lot of reasons. Like one reason, of course, is another reason is the stream. The scrim times. Since Dota is dominated by Europe, you have to scrim by European times. So let's say you scrim at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. EST. If you're West, you have to wake up at like 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., which is really awful. You can't go to school. High school, you're fucked. Like, if you go to high school, you're fucked. Arteezy is really, really good, and I really like them, and I really want him to be on my team. I really like Crizzles too, but you know, I couldn't have any of them on my team because they both live in the West and they both go to school, and that alone was the sole reason to why I had to let them go. And that's a pretty awful reason, but you know, that's what happened. So yeah, being West sucks. Of course, if you're West, you can't play on Europe server. You lag a lot, and you know, if you're playing against Empire, they're like, oh yeah, let's play in Europe. I don't care if your whole team is from US East or US West. We're not gonna play on US East. You can only play on Europe. So you know, and a lot of tournaments too, they force you to play on European servers if you have a lot of players from US West, and there's like a lot of Russian players. They'll force you to play on US East and Europe. So you play on US East, you're okay because you're from US West, and if you play on Europe, you're fucked. But if you're from Europe and you play on US East, that's okay. That's not that bad. That's like the same as US West to US East. So there's a lot of favoritism to Europe, and if you're in NA, you're pretty much fucked until there's a LAN tournament in NA, like MOG or whatever, and then the Europeans have to fly over, and it will cost them more money. But until there's a lot of tournaments in NA, you're pretty fucked, basically. There's a lot of teams that are pretty good, like Fnatic NA, like Roots. A lot of unknown teams that you guys have probably never heard about, and they scrim at really late times, like NA times, and generally no one scrims against them because all the European teams are asleep or they just don't want to play, and these teams have to scrim against really shitty teams, and their practice isn't very good, and they're not able to learn the opponent's strategies. Like, let's say you play against Empire, and you learn their strategies. Then when you play them again, it's fine. But if you don't ever play against any of these teams, and you're forced to play against them later on, then you're fucked. Yeah, basically, you're kind of. I'm not saying you're absolutely fucked in US. Obviously, if you're really, really, really good, then it's fine, right? But if you're like a mediocre team, then you probably won't last very long. Okay, let's talk about European Dota. One big thing about Europe is that their shit is fucking expensive. Like, Germany is fucking expensive, Sweden is fucking expensive. Like, holy shit, their shit's fucking expensive. And China, now I'm not talking about NA versus European Dota, I'm talking about European versus Chinese Dota. In China, their stuff costs really, really cheap. Like, their food is so fucking cheap. I bought, when I went to China, I got like, I can get food for like $10, I mean not $10, like 10 RMB, I think it's called, or yuan or whatever, which is equivalent of like $1.50, like for a lot of food. Their McDonald's is like $1. You can get, for $1 you can get like a combo. It's fucking crazy, or like $2. It's pretty fucking crazy there. So let's say their stuff is like 3 times cheaper than Europe, then, or 2 times cheaper, then basically any prize money you win is like 2 times more or 3 times more, right? Because if you get second place at TI, like eHome, and Navi got first place, then I mean eHome, honestly they probably got more than Navi because their stuff's more than 2 times cheaper. And actually I'm not sure about Ukraine. Ukraine, pretty cheap too, I think. But regardless, China's cheaper, and China benefits a lot more from any prize money that they make in comparison to NA and Europe. And this is why, like, when you look at it from a financial standpoint, this is why a lot of teams don't practice that much. Like, a lot of people hate on Navi, a lot of people hate on MTW or any team like that. They don't practice as hard as the Chinese. And honestly, I mean, sure, you can be angry at them for not trying their absolute best, but honestly, like, if you look at it from their standpoint, how much they're actually getting out of this, like, it's really difficult. Like, what China does is that they practice like 12 hours a day, like scrims, and then they play pubs, they watch replays, they do anything. So it takes a lot of their time, like 14 hours, 16 hours a day, right? A lot of their time. That's a lot of fucking time. That's way more than your job. That's like 2 times more than your job. And the amount of money you make trying to follow the Chinese is either none, because you don't win any tournament, or you win every tournament and you get like 30k. That's fucking nothing. So you can't really blame players for taking the game not as seriously as China. That's just my point of view. There's a lot of hate in Dota, and I don't think the players deserve it. But yeah. Of course, I think the Chinese tournaments in general there's just more money. Like, G League is like, G1 League or whatever was like 50k or something, which is so much in comparison to DreamHack, which is 15k. So not only do they have cheaper shit, but their tournaments also have more money, and also their sponsors are better as well. I think they get money from other shit too, like selling drinks and shit, and shoes or whatever. Fuck, like, and we don't get any of that right now. I think Navi gets a little bit, but no one else really gets anything. Am I wrong in any of this? Because I don't really. I'm not an expert in money. These are just my thoughts. This could all be fucking wrong, but I think there's a lot of truth to this. Okay. Now, there's a bunch of other shit, a lot of other problems about pro gaming in general. Like, let's say you're Cinderin and you're playing for MTW, and MTW suddenly dies. Like, you can't get sent to DreamHack. The salary they promised you for a couple months, you don't get it anymore. Are you gonna sue MTW? You could, but if you sue MTW, then your next sponsor probably won't like you, because maybe you'll sue them too. So you don't really want to do anything. And even if you did sue, would you actually win? I don't fucking know. No one really fucking knows, because no one really tried it before. And no one's gonna try it, because it looks really bad to sue your sponsor or do anything like that. So you pretty much just have to suck it up, and whatever fucking happens to you, just fucking suck it up, and you can go cry in a corner, and it won't really matter to anybody else. So that's one of the big problems right now too. It's like, let's say you're Destiny, and you played for, I mean, you streamed on own TV, and own TV is like kind of bankrupt right now or whatever. I don't know what's going on there, but there's a lot of players that are complaining about own TV because they're not getting paid for, they're not getting paid their stream revenue, they're not getting paid their subscriptions, and like, you know, what do you do? Like, you're Destiny, right? And you have a lot of fans. You're pretty vocal. Like, you're really well known. One of the best streamers, one of the most popular streamers, and you get fucked in the ass. You don't get paid for 6 months by own TV. This is a lot of money. Like, Destiny makes a lot of money streaming. If he doesn't get paid for 6 months, that's like 20k or something. That's a lot of money, or 30k. I don't know. But and he doesn't get paid any of this. What does he do? He does fucking nothing. Is he gonna do anything? Probably not. Like, even the own TV's like trying to threaten him with like lawyers and shit. Like, he's not gonna do anything because what's the point? He's probably not gonna get anything back. So if anything bad happens, you're fucked. And about Twitch TV, like I don't know anything bad about Twitch TV. I think Twitch TV is pretty awesome, but like when you have one streaming service, like, let's say you had own TV and Twitch TV, and both of them are doing well, then generally what's gonna happen is that they would fight against each other, and they would, you know, try to win over the players by, you know, increasing the price, increasing how much money they get, the percentage of money they get from revenues, from ads and stuff, or whatever. But when you have like one streaming service like Twitch, and that one's like the most popular by far of any streaming service, then, you know, Twitch can do whatever the fuck they want, and the players can't really do much because, you know, they have to use Twitch. They're not able to use anything else, and so they probably won't benefit as much as if there was many streaming services. So that's that. Let's see. So I want to talk about slow and StarCraft 2. So right now, I personally, when I decided to take pro gaming seriously, I honestly thought that what I find that's really fun in pro gaming isn't the game itself too much. Like, sure, the game's really fucking fun, like, that's for sure. But can you seriously, if there was nothing on the line, if there was nothing, like, it was just for lows, but you had to take that game really fucking seriously for some reason. You had to play a lot every day. You have to stream. You have to practice. You have to whatever. And there was, no, sorry, that makes no fucking sense. Let's just say you play a game for lows, like a lot, like 12 hours a day. Can you fucking do that every day for like a couple years straight? There's no fucking way. You're gonna get bored of the game. Any game you play too much gets boring. That's pretty much true unless you're crazy. And I could never do that for Dota. If I was never a pro gamer, I would just quit this game and I would play WoW or some stupid shit, or I'll play a little bit of this. I'll play some console games. I'll watch more anime. I'll find more songs. I'll do whatever. It doesn't have to be Dota. But because there's so much on the line in Dota, the game's more fun. Like, what I love about Dota right now is the competition. That's what keeps me playing. That's what keeps, like, StarCraft players playing the game for like 10 years straight and playing every day for so long, because they really like the competition. That's what I think. It's not because they like the game that much. Like, they love the game a lot for sure, but they don't love the game so much that they can do that. It's definitely because there's a lot on the line and the competition is fucking thrilling. It's so fun to play competitively, and that's what keeps it in. And I thought, okay, so if the game isn't what drags me into it, why don't I just play StarCraft 2? Why don't I just play LoL? Why don't I just play some other game, right? So, okay, the main two reasons to why I wanted to play Dota over StarCraft is because the first reason is I'm much better at Dota. That's probably one of the main reasons. Like, I like StarCraft 2 a lot as well, but, you know, I was getting good at StarCraft, but it took me way too long. That game's really fun competitive. I didn't think I had enough talent for that game, or enough of that talent anyway. So I wasn't improving fast enough. So I wanted to play Dota 2 because I really liked this game, and because it was I'm good at the game. And the second reason is because I thought, so now I have the choice, right, between LoL, Han, and Dota 2. Okay, first off, Han's fucked. Like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? So there's Dota 2 and LoL. And LoL has way more money. There's way more viewers. there's way more everything, right? And like a lot of people ask me like, why don't you just play fucking low? Well, because I fucking like Dota a lot more. That's one reason. And the other reason is because a lot of players tell me that if you switch to low, you'll rape, because people suck in low. A lot of like team carry from Han have told Kizzles that, oh yeah, if you switch to low, it's gonna be fucking easy as shit. Like I think it's called Nien Tonson or whatever. He's not insanely famous in low, but he's still pretty fucking good, right? And I don't know. He tells me like, oh yeah, it's fucking easy as shit. Don't have to play that much. So that's one of the main reasons why I didn't play low, because I thought Dota 2 was way more competitive, and something that's more competitive is more fucking fun. And I really respected China for what they do, and I really wanted to beat China. I thought it would be really thrilling to play against China. So yeah, I decided to play Dota 2 over low. But honestly, right now I'm not regretting the decision, but I think I'm fucking stupid, because if you honestly look at it, Dota 2 right now, how many gaming houses are there for teams outside of China? 0, right? Oh, Navi has a gaming house, sure, okay, cool, but they don't really stay there all day, right? How about low? How many gaming houses do they have? How much hours do they practice? They practice so fucking much. My cousins play low, and I talk to them and stuff, and like, I told them that, oh yeah, my team practices a lot, but it still isn't that much. Like, we practice a lot, sure, but it's nowhere close to as much as StarCraft 2 players. It's nowhere close to as much as StarCraft 1 players. Nowhere close to as much as China. And they were shocked, because, you know, to them, I won DreamHack. You know, that's pretty fucking cool. You know, if you win a really big tournament in low, what do you need to do for that? Like, you need to have a gaming house. Almost every team, according to them, have a gaming house. According to my cousins, anyway, have like a gaming house. Basically, every team practices. And so I think in like a year or two, low will actually be more competitive than Dota 2. Right now, maybe that's not the case, but is this true though? Like, does anyone know low? But yeah,
I have a friend that just recently got joined to CLG. His name is Link, and he is moving into their gaming house.
Yeah.
But that's just CLG. I'm not sure if that applies for every other, you know.
Yeah.
But it sounds believable.
Yeah. But like, okay, sure, like, so we play Dota, right? And when you play a game, generally you think your game's the best or whatever, but if you seriously take a look into it, how can Dota possibly be more competitive than a game that has a gaming house for almost every good team? There's like 20 teams of gaming houses or some stupid shit. How are you gonna compete with Korea, right? Like, Korea started playing low like really seriously, and for some reason they're the best. They sucked at Dota. Now they're like the best in low. That makes no fucking sense. They're trying so hard. And China's really good in low too. Like, these two countries that are dominant in games because they're known for tryharding. Like, now all of a sudden, low is no longer dominated by Europe anymore. It's dominated by these freaking Asian countries, because it's freaking competitive, and because these teams try really, really hard. And right now, sure, China's doing the same thing for Dota 2 as low, but China only has China. They don't feel that threatened by other countries. They don't really feel that the need to get better as fast as low, for example, because in low you have to play against other countries, and you have to, you know, it's basically you improve faster if people around you are really fucking good, and if you're the best, generally you don't improve as fast as the people below you. And in Dota 2, China right now, like, they're gonna improve amongst themselves, but they won't really learn as fast, because China's gotta learn their own shit. But in low, you will learn from everybody, and you will just get better faster. So I personally think in a year, or 2 years, or half a year, low would be more competitive than Dota 2. And it really fucking sucks. Huh. Do I have anything fucking positive to say? I don't even fucking know. Loomis, you got anything positive to say?
About the
life?
Dota scene? Nope. I'm about to switch over to low too.
well, gaming itself is it's pretty emo sometimes. Like, I heard in StarCraft 1, right? There was something called the A team and there's something called the B team, and a lot of players on the B team, they don't get paid much at all, and they have to practice like just as much as the A team, and they don't get anything. And they can practice for years, like 2 years, 3 years, and they will never be promoted to the A team because they don't get that good. Because, you know, gaming is really fucking competitive. You know, I mean, being the best at anything is really fucking hard. And there's so many people playing Dota out here, and if you want to be the best, you're gonna have to have something special, and you're gonna have to play a lot. And basically in Dota right now, if you're not the best, you don't get enough for it to be worth it. If you're second, you're screwed. If you're dirt, you're screwed. Like I said, if you get second place in every tournament combined, you get like 9k a year. That's fucking nothing. You have to pretty much be first place, and it's really hard. So that's the issue of Dota right now.
I think that's the issue for a lot of other competitive sports as well. Like when you brought up the B team for Korea, Brood Wars, StarCraft. I mean, you know, like Jaedong, Flash, Bisu, they all make these 6-digit, 7-digit, figure salary, but that is just on the extreme end of the spectrum. But if you average all the players out, they make it less than minimum wage.
If you take if you take all the top players out, like top 10 players out, and use the rest, like you're fucked. And those guys are fucking good. Like those guys are truly fucking good. Like the B team in StarCraft can beat every single foreigner player outside of everyone outside of Korea doesn't stand a chance against the B team. And these B teamers suck ass against the A teamers. And these A teamers are pretty good in comparison to the top players actually. But they're gonna make minimum wage.
Or maybe even less than minimum wage. So I mean, it's a situation that it's true for a lot of games, but less so for, I guess, the very, very well sponsored games like StarCraft, League of Legends, for example. For Dota, we haven't got out of that stage just yet, and I think we're gonna remain in that stage for quite a bit.
But I mean, not like when I decided to do this, right? Like, okay, sure, maybe I want to take care of that family, and I need a lot more money than this. But for now, like, what I want is just something that's sustainable, something that can keep me like playing this game that I like, right? I like competitive Dota more than having a job. I don't want to fucking do shit that I don't give a fuck about for 8 hours a day, and talk to people that I don't give a fuck about for 8 hours a day. Like, fuck that. I just want to play Dota. You know, it's great, and I just want it to have enough money for me to keep doing this. Like 20k a year, maybe that's enough, maybe. And right now, 20k a year is a fucking lot. Like I said, Axmite got like 4.5k in complexity. Probably like the top 3 teams in the entire year of 2012, like outside of China, of course. So it's really fucking difficult. I did go over how I found Admiral Bulldog. Of course, I found him because of Navi, and because S4 was playing with Admiral, and he's like, oh yeah, this Admiral guy's pretty legit. I'm like, okay, let's try him out. Of course, right now, I'm only... Honestly, I think it's way worse than... Like, this is what happens for pro players. If you're an amateur trying to become a pro, it's... Holy shit, it's fucking hard. Oh my god. Like, you could be so... You could be like... Oh yeah, I want to talk about this, actually. So... This is not about pros anymore, this is about like amateur players. Before DreamHack, I was garbage, apparently. I was fucking total shit in Dota. I was so bad. According to every pro, like pretty much, I was total shit. All of a sudden, after DreamHack, I'm actually pretty good now. Like what? What happened? Like, did I suddenly evolve? Like, did I fucking turn to Charizard or some shit? Like, no. Like, it's just that players, the pro scene doesn't take anyone seriously unless they win a big tournament. They look at your results, and that's the only thing that fucking matters. And sure, in StarCraft, that would be pretty cool. Like, if you only look at the results, sure, right? But that's a single player game. In a 5-player game where you need to find a team, where you need to find players that actually think you're good, if everyone judges you based on what achievements you have, you're kind of fucked. Like, when I played Dota 2, like, sure, now all of a sudden people say like it's a Cinderella story or whatever from me. Okay, maybe a little bit, but to be honest, I was really fucking good at Han. And the players that I got, 4 of them play Han, right? The only player that doesn't play Han is Emerald. S4 played Han, and he liked me because I played Han. And so if I didn't play Han, maybe I would never have teamed up with S4. And Kizzles, who's helped me a lot in Dota, like I knew him from Han too. And PowerNet, like he liked me too. Why? Like he didn't like me. Like he liked me, but he didn't like me at first because because he talked to me, because I played with him in pubs. He liked me because, he took interest in me because Kizzles showed him my Han profile. So if it was actually a Cinderella story, and I was like some random person who was just a pub star, maybe I would never have found these players to play with in the first place. So it's really difficult for amateurish players to get into the pro scene. I'm sure, I think there was a blog by Fluff and Stuff that you linked to a lot of players, to a lot of people, that specifically said that networking is probably one of the most important things, or the most important thing in Dota 2. Because honestly, like, you don't necessarily need the best individual skill to be part of one of the best teams. There's a bunch of shit you can have that's really useful, and even if you're worse than someone else, like, I think Demon talked about Universe being way better than Milk in the visual skill, but he still prefers Milk because Milk brings other shit into the table that Universe doesn't have. I don't know what the fuck that is. Maybe Universe has it now, but yeah, it's really, you need to play with people, and you need those people to give a fuck about you enough to let you practice with them, to let you scrim with them, and to let them figure out whether you're actually good or not for their team. And in a game where only results matter, how the fuck are you going to get people to take you seriously? So, like, as bad as I made it sound for pros, it's even fucking worse for amateurs trying to become pros. Luminous, can you make this 2-part, by the way?
I don't even know how many parts I need to make this, but do you have anything nice to say about Dota?
It's fucking fun.
Okay.
Is that the point?
Alright.
I mean, that's what I decided, right?
I was crying my tears out for the last 2 hours.
I mean, you're casting, right? And you said it. I mean, I'm sure casting is easier than being a pro. Like, you probably get more out of casting, and you can have like a lot of casters doing well, whereas in Dota you need to be one of the best for your effect. But like, it's still really hard, right? But it's still fucking fun. Way more fun than having a real job.
That's a discussion for another day about casters.
I'm flaming. Yep. Well, that's basically what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm just trading everything for fun. It's more interesting. Envy be nice. I don't know. I'm not being nice or rude or anything right now. I'm just giving my point of view in competitive Dota. And I don't know. If you think what I'm saying is wrong, you can tell me now. Maybe I'll think about it now and respond. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really have much more to talk about. I guess there's one more thing I can talk about. This is more about me though. So it's like right now, since I've talked about how awful everything is, and how grim everything looks, and maybe people are wondering if I regret any of this, but I don't. Like, I decided from the get-go that even if I fail even if I played for a year straight, which is my plan, and I didn't do anything. Like, I just sucked, and I was never part of any good team. I never won any tournament or anything like that. I would still never regret it. Because I think being a pro gamer, being one of the best pro gamers, is like really fucking fun. And it's more fun than any job I could possibly have. And it would be like a dream come true. So, like, I decided to do this, even if the dream wouldn't come true. At least I tried. So I don't regret any of this, no matter what.
Okay, question time. What is in store for Eternal Envy for the next year? What is the future?
TI3 is mine.
Well, it's everybody's future.
No,
But
it's fucking mine.
okay, what about after TI3?
TI4 is fucking mine.
Okay. Nothing else beyond between now and TI3 or 4 matters? Or?
5 is mine too.
Oh, I'm not sure if there's a TI5 yet.
Okay, but what do you mean? Like, you mean real life stuff?
Well, I mean Dota stuff. As in, what is your team gonna do?
Oh, my team.
Prepare.
Well, I think everyone knows that we're gonna have a gaming house late March. Apparently.
At Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden, where it's gonna suck ass for me because everything's expensive as shit. And I can't bring my anime stuff.
I mean, you can. We discussed this.
Yeah, I guess I can. Kind of. So
okay.
Yeah.
You gotta close it out, Envy.
Yep.
You're in charge.
Actually, I guess I should talk about my scrimming schedule as well. So what NTH currently does right now is we play like 4 times a week, maybe 5 times a week. It's supposed to be 7 times a week, but you know, something happens. Like right now, Aki's computer blew up, so so we haven't played in 2 days. Sometimes Loda goes out. Sometimes I say I'm going out. That happens like once every like month. Aki goes out like once every 2 weeks, maybe. Loda goes out like once every week or 2 weeks. But
you make everybody sound like huge fucking nerds.
Huh? No, I mean like, well, obviously they go out, but they don't go out within the scrim schedule. You know?
I see.
They go outside of the scrimming schedule. We scrim at sometimes earlier than 11 a.m. EST, but generally it's just 11 a.m. EST, and we scrim till 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. It's really random, depending on whether maybe I'm casting. Like sometimes someone's like, you want to cast, and we can't find any good opponents, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna cast this game because I'm not playing against this shitty team. Or we find really good opponents and we just keep playing till they stop playing. Sometimes we start a little bit earlier, like 9 a.m. EST, 10 a.m. EST. But yeah, usually 4 days a week. Hopefully we'll play 7 days a week. Generally S4 never cancels any of our scrims, like maybe once every month. And Amaral generally cancels like once every month as well, so I probably cancel twice a month. And yeah, that's what we do. So I think that's it, unless anyone has any questions. Sorry for making everyone feel really sad. I'm feeling a little sad too. Feel a little sad. But
it's not sad, it's the somber realism of being a pro gamer. I think you did a good job depicting that. It's not all just about getting the fangirls.
What fangirls?
Fangirls?
Oh, exactly. I should probably talk about that, right? Yeah, there's no fucking fangirls.
There's no fangirls yet. But when you got good-looking personalities like Luminous and Envy on the scene, they will come flocking very soon.
Yeah. The fake girls online. So, yeah. If PowerNet came back, would I drop Loda for him? Okay, first off, do you think I can fucking answer this question? Regardless of whether it's a yes or no, I can't answer this fucking question. The answer is actually no. I don't know if PowerNet's better than Loda, but it's not about better and not, right? Like, would I take Ferrari over S4? Fuck no. Because is S4 better than Ferrari? I don't know, maybe. But even if he wasn't, I would still like S4 more because it's about team synergy as well, and it's about team understanding. Like, their playstyle just wouldn't fit you. Like when we first got Loda over Black, it was fucking awful. But now I like Loda more than Black. But you know, I know, but you're trolling me. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who ask this question seriously, so I'm gonna answer it for everybody. But yeah, I think I'm done.
I'm about to cry right now.